Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon to our studio audience and those in our social media land, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are. Good afternoon, happy Sunday, and happy International Women's Day. I think we should give a little round of applause for the women in the country and the women around the world who are fixing things and making things happen. Somebody said if you want it done, give it to a woman. I don't know how the men feel about that, but I'm just gonna put that shameless plug in. If you want, if you want it, see, I got corrected. If you want it done right and quickly, give it to a woman because she's gonna get it done. I promise you. We are here today in the headquarters of the Coalition of Independence, and we are excited about information and education that is going to be done today. I don't know if you realize, but we are a nation in crisis. There's so many things going wrong in our nation at this time. We have sprung forward today because this is springtime and we have sprung forward. But we need our country to spring forward into the promise that lies ahead with the Coalition of Independence. I know, I'm not going to say I believe. I know that the Coalition of Independence is the government of governments for the Bahamas. I don't know how you feel about that, but I believe and I know with all of my heart that when we stand and when we are sworn in as the government of the Bahamas, things are going to change in this country. We don't want a 360, we want a 180, because when you go to a 360, you go right back to the point where you started, but a 180 turns you in a different direction than you were in. And in this Bahama land, we need change. We need change now. Today, we're going to have conversations about our health care, which is in crisis. We're going to have conversations about immigration, which is in crisis in our country. As I canvass my area in Garden Hills, and if you didn't know, I am S. Aisha Claire, the ratified candidate for Garden Hills. Garden Hills, it's your time. Garden Hills, I see you. Garden Hills, I hear you, and it's your time to rise. We are rising as a nation. But as I was saying, as I walk and I canvass the community of Garden Hills and other communities that I have canvassed already, the cry is for immigration. Why are we second-class citizens in our country? Why are we not getting the things that we need, the necessities that we need as Bahamian citizens? Why is it that we're selling passports like candy? I know that's something that you don't want to hear me say, but it is true. If you listen to people on social media, you know something? The smoke isn't far from the fire, and guess what? We are under fire and under siege in our country because we have allowed foreigners to infiltrate our country and take it over. But today we say no more. Today we say we're taking it back. Today we take back the country of the Bahamas in the name of Jesus Christ. Listen, this is going to be an informative. It's going to, listen, hold on to your chairs, get your water, whatever you're drinking today, get it because it's going to be hot in the place. We have our amazing deputy leader who's going to join me on the stage, and she's going to talk about her topic and the area that she shadows as Minister of Health, that is. And listen, she is coming with not just problems, but solutions. We're not a people who just promote the problems. Oh, this is happening and that is happening. We talk about solutions and how to resolve it. And if you would listen, PLP and FNM, I'm so sorry I have to say this. If you would listen, you would put things into place now so that people can see and feel the change, not April 1st. Not April 1st. So we expect change to happen now, but I tell you, as the Coalition of Independence government, we are going to bring the change that is necessary in this country. I want to say something else too. Happy International Women's Day to our Deputy Leader, Dr. MacGyver. Also happy International Women's Day to Prophetess India Poitier. If you have been listening, there are many songs that she has. Listen, they are original songs for the COI for Mr. Lincoln Bain. One was also for Miss Linda Christina Stubbs on our opening of her campaign. These songs talk about change. These are prophetic songs that when you hear it, there is change in the atmosphere happening. And I want you to know that we are willing and able to do what it is to put our country first. Bahamians first, Bahamas first, Bahamians first, Bahamas first. Amen. Amen. Without further ado, I want to invite the beautiful Dr. McIver, our deputy leader of the Coalition of Independence, to sit with me, and we're going to have a conversation, yes ma'am, welcome, about the crisis in our health care system. She is so full and she's so ready. I'm just going to let her go. Dr. McIver, welcome. Thank you for coming and sitting with me. You look beautiful as usual.
Thank you.
You're very
so
welcome.
Do you.
Thank you so much.
Always
Thank you so much.
Very glamorous, isn't she?
I tried.
So do you like this new time?
I love the new time. You know why I love it? Because now we can go out and we don't have to be saying good evening and it's night. We can say good evening and we have some light out there and we can reach more people. We can reach more people.
Everybody have their favorite time of the year, but
Yeah.
daylight saving time is my favorite time. I get to do more things because there's more light. So this is my time. Hey,
Beautiful.
hey.
Hey.
Well, listen, you mentioned about the crisis in this country. Everybody knows this country is definitely in crisis.
Yes.
Health care is one of them.
Oh my goodness.
Immigration is one of them.
Yes.
And of course, we can't leave out the cost of living.
Oh my goodness.
So guess what? If that's what we are going to be voting on in the next general election, woe to the party that's serving now.
Wow, it's true.
So, but you know, I always used to say a nation that cannot heal its people cannot lead its people.
Yes. Wow.
We do not have a medical crisis. We have a leadership crisis.
Wow. Yes.
And another
thing that you
it's
heal,
people.
It's people. It reminds me of the body. If the body is unable to heal itself, because it's supposed to do that,
Exactly.
it's a problem. So obviously we have a problem in this country if we are unable to heal and help our people. This is a conundrum. What are we going to do about this?
Listen, I wanted to say that I have been on record to say that this is the worst I've seen the healthcare in the last 30 years.
Wow.
And to back me up, I saw an article by Dr. Chanel Lockhart. I wrote it down. She is the Consultant Physician Staff Association president. And she, was very guarded, but she had to say what she had to say. And she said this is the worst she's seen in the healthcare in 22 years. Wow. Imagine she is the Physician Staff Association president. Can you imagine that?
That's crazy.
She mentioned that the hospital was understaffed, under-resourced. She said that it lacks supplies, which we all know. Yeah. And she cited an incident where, she's a pediatric physician. Mm-hmm. She cited a situation where a little girl came in and she had something in her nose, lodged, and she needed a special instrument to take that out. Wow. Do you know the hospital did not have that instrument?
How is that possible?
Do you know exactly? How is that possible? Wow. You know what she had to do? She left what she was doing, went to her private office, got the equipment she needed, and came back and helped that little girl. Wow. That we should not be doing that in 2026
no
in the new world.
No
Something is definitely wrong. Yeah. So listen, when COI get in the chair, I'm going to have a scalpel blade. A surgeon's scalpel blade. Yes, I'm going to delicately cut away parts that we don't need. Wow. And there's a lot, I believe there's a lot of wastage in the hospital. Yes. A lot of the procurement and the contracts, listen, we're going to have to take a second look at all of them to make sure there's no wastage. And so I'm going to carefully dissect everything. And you did say it takes a woman, right?
There you go. It takes a woman.
And on top of that, my mother taught her girls, and everybody know that, we're pretty good entrepreneurs. Yeah. She showed us how to take $1 and how to stretch it into $2. Wow. And I know a lot of single mothers are listening to me right now. Yes, and yes. I know you just have to take that dollar and make it look like $2. And so Don't mind me, I know how to do it.
Wow.
One time I had my property and, I had to landscape it. And when I got the bill for landscaping, it was $250,000 to do what I wanted to do, just to landscape. So what I did was I got my gardeners and I went into the field with them. And instead of doing everything they said, we started with the sprigs of grass. I was helping them. Here, you take this, you put it in one by one, and I did that. So you have to do what you have to do to make ends meet, but you have to do it right.
Yes.
And it has to be done. So let me tell the people what I would like to do. I have a few notes here I wanted to make mention of.
Go right ahead.
Most people know things that really bother them about the hospital. One of the first things is when you go to accident and emergency, they always say, oh my God, I have to be there for 24 hours before I'm seen.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is there an accident and emergency right now?
Yes, they said it's now completed.
Okay, okay.
But the wait time is still too long. That is one of the low-hanging fruits that I am going to take care of. So when you walk into that accident and emergency, and I'm going to be there and I'm going to watch everything myself to make sure it's done. When you get in there, the triage, everything is going to go like clockwork. 1, 2, 3. And I believe that you shouldn't wait no longer than an hour to be seen in an emergency situation.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
I had somebody call me up the other day, say that, this is happening in the RAN as well. She had an accident. They went in at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. 1:37 a.m., nobody saw her yet.
No way.
She left at 2:37 because no doctor had came. She went home and then they went back the next day. That is ridiculous, and Bahamian people, if you're listening to Veronica McIver, I will put an end to that right now.
Yes.
One of the things that I will do is ambulances. We still have a lot of complaints about ambulances. Now, this present administration bought some smaller ambulances that were not really suitable for Nassau, but they're using them. But still, people are complaining that when they call for an ambulance, there's none available. So I'm trying to figure out, you just bought 15 or 19, so what's happening to it? I was told previously, before they brought them in, that they were not maintaining the ambulances. They were not maintaining, and that's a problem that we have at the hospital. Maintenance is a big problem. You agree?
Yes, yes.
Listen here. So, the people on the island, I just want you to know, for me, that is a low-hanging fruit. We are going to have ambulances at all the outposts, wherever the clinics are.
Yes.
There's going to be an ambulance. Y'all agree?
Yes.
I've said it multiple times. An ambulance should reach its destination within 5 or 6 minutes. Now, give or take, 15 minutes is still acceptable or adequate, but 5 or 6 minutes is ideal. And so we don't want the ambulance on those Long Islands like Eleuthera and all those places like that in Long Island to take an hour to reach where they're going. That is counterproductive. That is not what our people need. Not in 2026, man. We're going into the new Bahamas.
The new Bahamas.
Hey!
Yes. I have a question again. I'm going to
Yes.
just throw these
Go ahead.
in
Yes.
time after time. But it happened, I think, in Exuma. Under, I know our deputy leader, Chester Cooper, is the MP for Exuma. And someone actually died because there was no light on the runway. There was no...
Yes.
How do we address it? One, and my condolences to that family. It's nothing we can say to take away your sorrow, but we indeed, from the Coalition of Independence, extend our sympathy towards you and your relatives at this time of bereavement. But how do we make sure this does not happen again? You're talking about ambulances and all of that. What do we do?
Well, like you said, we're sorry for the family that happened to. That was very sad when I heard that.
Yes.
And that wasn't the only time. We had heard another story where the cars had to line up to form lights on the airport.
Unacceptable.
When are we going to get it right?
Yes.
When are we? First of all, we're going to have helicopters that can bring people into the capital in case of an emergency.
Yes.
The other thing that we are going to do, it may not be a low-hanging fruit, but it'll happen after several years. We're going to try to do mini hospitals on some of the neighboring islands.
Okay.
So that if somebody have something like heart attack, we should be able to handle that in the mini hospital.
Yes.
Only like they have to be airlifted if it's a traumatic injury to the brain and you may not have a neurosurgeon on staff.
Right.
But the basic stuff, man, we need those people to be treated right there on the island.
Yes, we
and so
do.
that is going to be our medium range goal.
Yes.
But short range would have to be a helicopter to bring them in
Yes,
quickly.
Yes.
Yes.
That's excellent.
And with the helicopter, you don't necessarily need the runway. They just lift up and come. Doesn't that make sense, everybody?
Vision. This is what
All
we're
right.
talking about. Vision.
Yes. And another thing, too, I would like to talk about is machines at the hospital. It is so bad. I had 2 patients in the last 2 years. I feel so bad. Those are the ones who reach me. Imagine the ones who I don't talk to. These men have problems with urology, and they had a stent put in, and it was never removed because they don't have a laser machine at the hospital. And so these men are constantly going back over and over again. They're giving them antibiotics and pain medication. Now a lot of these men are bleeding.
Wow.
And one guy is so bad, he's in a wheelchair. Hold on, I have a letter from one of them. Let me see if I could find it.
No problem. And while you look for it, I was on social media, and this lady, she said that she was in the emergency room. She came in 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. that night, she was still not seen. What are we doing in this country? We're here to fix it.
Okay, this is a story that was sent to me by Joey Pratt.
Okay.
It says, Bahamas, tell why, well, some grammatical stuff. Us,
Okay.
as Bahamians, have to die or go to different lands to get good medical care. Are we not worthy? This is my story. I was sick in 2016. They had to put a stent in my kidney and bladder. A stent should be changed every 6 to 8 months, but our service was different. Mine has a nerve Ben Jans, I'm trying to read his handwriting, okay? From 2017 and onward. Now it is slowly working me out. I am in pain all the time, having infection all the time. When I get over one, it come back stronger. When is someone willing to stand and help me? It is so sad. I went from walking to a wheelchair.
Wow.
My people, please help me. Make noise so that they can see us, because I'm not the only one. If urologists want to help, please, or anyone want to assist with payments for my surgery, you can give me a call on WhatsApp, and he gave the number, and thank you for listening to my pain. But these are the messages Bahamians are sending out. They are in pain.
Yes.
They're holding out for help. I don't even see no help coming, because the other day, the hospital ran out of money to even pay the nurses to stay on staff overtime. So, oh my goodness, what is going on?
How do you explain that? What? Ran out of money.
The hospital ran out of funds to maintain the staff doing overtime. So they are now short staff. Let me take this opportunity to talk to the nurses at this moment.
Yes.
Nurses, we hear your cry. You are the backbone of that hospital. And we need you. So you better believe it. We are going to invest in you the same way we're going to invest in our teachers,
Yes.
and our police officers and immigration officers. But we are going to make sure, take care of our nurses. Remember, I told you healthcare is one of the most important ministries in the country. And in addition to that, we're going to give our nurses a retentive bonus. So that if they stay with us for 3 years, they will get maybe about $10,000. I'm throwing out there.
Okay.
And I think it'll be an incentive.
Incentives.
You can clap,
Yes.
go ahead.
Incentives.
It'll be an incentive for them to stay. Because it is true that a lot of our nurses are leaving to go to other lands like America and other places where, the grass is greener. So we're going to have to make the grass green in the Bahamas,
At home.
because this is for our people.
Yes. At home.
Exactly. Now, another area of we're talking about machines now.
Yeah.
Everybody know my pet project has been the dialysis
Yes. Yes.
area. I've been following it probably more closely than any other area in the hospital. The dialysis machines, as far as I'm aware, allegedly, they have expired. And they're still using them today.
No.
Yes. And that it is wrong what they are doing. Most of the people are not being dialyzed properly. Yes. I just had a gentleman who left Nassau, went to America. When he got over there, they put him in the the ICU,
ICU.
intensive care unit.
Wow.
So I say, you in intensive care unit? They say, yes, doc. The last time you saw me, I was a walking dead man. I said, what? He said, if I didn't come over here, I might have been dead. So I say, well, what happened? What did they do? They dialyzed him, and he couldn't believe that how much amount of liquid they took out of his body. Because, dialysis patient, it has to be balanced just right. They took 1 gallon of liquid out of his body, and it was all around his lungs and heart.
Oh, my goodness.
And he probably would have died. So that is what we're dealing with here in the Bahamas. Things have to change, Aisha.
Like someone
it cannot
said,
remain the same.
It's unethical. It should be illegal. We should be able to sue. Our people are suffering so much, and there's nowhere to go. Exactly. There's nowhere to go. We're not getting relief. And people are just thinking, because you hear some people, we're doing well as a country. But it's not everybody. What country are you living in? You must be under a rock. Because people are going to the hospital, people are dying before they're seen. You can't live because the food prices are out of the roof. And gas prices and everything is up. Can we fix our nation, please?
Listen, I come here to tell you all the stories, right?
Tell us.
And y'all want to know about these stories, what's going on? Listen, with the eye, we have a lot of Bahamians who need eye surgery, just something to do with the eyes. They had a program in Cuba. Some people went to the program, and do you know they stopped the program midway, and some of the people were not completed with their treatment? Would you believe that?
Wow.
Yes. And I spoke with a specialist, an ophthalmologist, who knows about this type of thing. So I say, why can't y'all do it at the hospital? It's just basic surgery. She said, my dear, we are specialized in that area, but the hospital is not providing the equipment for us. Some people have gone on to even speculate, I can't prove this, that one of the reasons why they might be doing it too is to outsource some of the work to some of the private physicians, which I think is really bad if that is happening. So I don't want to think that is happening, but we just need to provide more equipment. The other day, Dr. Darvel just went to Abaco, I think it was today Sunday, I think Friday or Thursday. They went over there to talk about a clinic that they're starting to open. And they also wanted to speak with the people who donated cataract surgery. You know what I said? Why we would not reject donations. As the Minister of Health, I will not reject a donation. If somebody wants to come help the Bahamians, oh yeah, come, I'll save more money. But why is it that we are dependent only on donation for eye surgery, for cataract removal?
Man, come on.
Now, that is wrong. That is bad. And, it makes me feel, I have a lot of pride for my country.
Yes.
And I don't want to think that we're begging all the time.
Yes, yes.
Now, if you want to donate, of course, I would say thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you don't want to go begging and depend on that. And I talk to people all the time. One lady, y'all don't know how many calls I just get. Y'all don't know what the mood of this country is. They know COI, and they say, MacIver's the health. Oh, I can call, I can let her know what's going on. One lady just called me on the way coming here. She didn't even know I was coming here.
Wow.
She said, I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Miami to get my eyes checked because she need cataract surgery too.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, oh my. And I was asking them, well, how much do you think this is going to cost? And some of them were quoting me like 17,000. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. Some middle class people can't even come up with 17,000 or
Yes.
so I'm like, oh my goodness, how are these people are going to afford this? So I feel like we should be able to give at least the basic care to our people, and that is what we're lacking. So we really need a revolution
We have to have
in
one.
healthcare.
Yes. Yes.
Y'all agree with me?
We agree.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I want to put this plug in. Our candidate, our ratified candidate in North Abaco, Mr. Kai Mills, he would have saw Mr. Davil. He would have seen Mr. Davil as he was coming in the airport. And he said something, I'm not saying this verbatim. Kai, this is for you. He said, I should have known, since you couldn't put up a door in the hospital or the clinic, what were you going to fix? If you couldn't fix a door in the last 4.5 years, what do we expect? That is so sad, but you know, Kai is a soldier. He is fighting for the people. He is revealing, uncovering, just as everyone in the COI. But we salute you today, Mr. Kai Mills.
Yes, isn't he a fighter?
Oh, yes,
Boy,
he is.
Now listen, you could love or hate Kai, but
Yeah.
Kai, one thing you cannot deny, Kai is fighting for the people of
Yes,
Abaco.
he is. Yes,
and
he
I
is.
pray God that Kai Mills win his seat.
Yes, ma'am.
And Abaconians, if you're listening to me, please put that man in. He have your heart.
Yes.
He has your heart, for, and he wants to help.
Yes.
Another area that I wanted to discuss with you is electronic records.
Okay.
Most people may not understand how important that is, but it is important. You ever heard when something happened in the hospital, people will say, I believe they did something to my mother. I believe they did something to my father, why they expired early. But when it's time for them to go and get the records, you notice it's like it takes a little while and that kind of stuff. Well, let me tell you what I propose to do for the Bahamian people.
Tell us.
I am going to put in a special system where it's traceable. If anybody goes in the system and even change it, your fingerprint will be in that system.
Come on now. Yes,
That's
innovation. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that is what we need. So you can't fake the records because so many of our persons, they really wanted to sue, but they can't because their hands are tied, the medical records were changed, or something like that. But I feel as if, in all honesty, if somebody can prove negligence, you ought to compensate them. Whether you compensate them through the courts or whether you compensate them and you settle out of court. Something needs to be done for these people. You just can't get by negligently and do something to them and expect to walk away from it.
Yes.
It's wrong.
Yes, it is.
It is wrong.
Absolutely
Do you
wrong.
agree with that?
I do. I do.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
system is antiquated. A lot of paper all around when you go to get your files. It's just paper everywhere. Those things can be misplaced. So when you put in that digital system, it's going to work and it's going to be faster so that when we go into the triage, when we go into the ER, everything is faster than the usual pace that we're used to.
Yes, and
Yes.
it'll also save money because in the old days when they had a separate computer at one clinic, a separate computer at the other clinic, you know what some Bahamians were doing? They were double dipping. They were going from one clinic to the next and getting their medication. And so if you have a central system, you cannot do that anymore. And so again, it's like a scalpel blade. I need to be able to keep the cost down for the Bahamian people and offer the best quality care that we can. You agree?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I love this. I love
listen,
this.
I just going to say about the finance. I want to talk about finance of the hospital. Someone said to me, they're talking about they don't have any money, right? I'm going to give you two incidents. Dr. Davil chartered a flight to Abaco with all of his crew.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
What?
So if you don't have no money, how come you chartering a flight and you taking that whole entourage with you? So,
Just how
I
they
mean, come on,
travel,
man.
just how they travel and take their cronies, exactly like that. Yes.
Exactly. And the PHA, this is what I believe. I believe the PHA is qualified to do what they were told to do or hired to do. I do believe that the government is interfering with the PHA. That's why they can't perform adequately. But in addition to that, I have a question, and I wouldn't know perhaps until I get in the chair, why they have so many PHA consultants, I understand, in finance. I was told, little birdie said to me, they even have someone from South Africa.
Oh, really?
So the question that I have, and I'm asking questions, okay? I don't like to just bam. I'm asking questions. If you're from South Africa, you mean to tell me we couldn't find a CPA or someone from finance in Nassau? When you bring someone in, normally you have to pay for their rent, their food, and you give them little perks. Why are we doing that? So, it makes people speculate.
Yes.
Is someone getting a kickback by bringing this person in? Or do they want to hide something? Because remember now, the hospital have to buy a lot of equipment and medicines, and the procurement, you have to procure these things. And if it's not done right, to give the right person the right contract, how do we know if something isn't being hidden? I'm only asking questions.
Yes. And if you remember when I was interviewed a couple of days ago, we talked about transparency and the Freedom of Information Act, which the Coalition of Independence and our leader, Mr. Lincoln Bain, we will put that forth for the Bahamian people. Nothing is going to be hidden. We will not have to speculate. We will not have to question where did the money go. We will know. We will have that Information Act for you.
Exactly.
With the coalition, yes.
And I know I have to wrap up because I know Mr. Bain is coming on soon. But another thing that I want to let the Bahamian people know that I propose to do, it wouldn't be a low-hanging fruit, but it'll probably be medium to long range, is when we build the health city.
What is it?
A health city.
Explain to the people, what is a health city?
That's going to have everything in it. It's going to have a general hospital. We're going to have a state-of-the-art labs, a naturopathic and holistic center, a wellness center. Everything is going to be there. And remember last time I said we're going to bring Sandilands. You tease me when I say Sandilands, or is it Sandilands?
Sandilands for our Bahamian people, yes.
We're going to bring Sandilands down to be a part of the health city, and we're going to rename it.
Thank you.
Yes. So that's what we plan to do, because the stigma of mental health has to be done away with in the Bahamas.
Yes.
And so that is what we see, medium to long range goal. And in that health city, the general hospital, it's going to be a smart hospital.
Come on.
Now, some people may say, well, Doc, what's a smart hospital? A lot of you have smartphones sitting in your hand.
That's right.
You could press a button and pop, pop, pop. You could Wi-Fi, you could Bluetooth, you could do everything. So guess what we're going to do with the smart hospital? The example I gave last time was if somebody have high blood pressure or they had a stroke or something and they went into the hospital, when they are released, the doctor could give them a blood pressure cuff. They can take that home with them. They can take their blood pressure every morning. The blood pressure cuff will have Bluetooth on it.
Come on.
So that when they take it, the measurement, the reading will upload to the hospital's computer.
Okay.
The doctor, when he comes in lunchtime or whatever, he'll look at it and just scan to see what's going on with this patient. If everything looks normal, he wouldn't say anything. But if he sees something look a little bit unusual, they'll pick up the phone and say, Mr. So-and-so, I need you to come in.
Yes.
So guess what?
Proactive.
Yes. And guess what that'll do? Imagine having to go in your car every single day, finding a ride, because some of our people don't have a car. They can go to the hospital. They have to catch on the bus and everything, and it might be raining. Imagine having to get in a car every single day to go get your blood pressure taken. Think of the gas in your car. Remember, now we're trying to save money.
That's right.
Remember, I already told you I could take $1 and I could stretch it into $2, right?
Into two, yes.
All right. So that's what I would like to see in a smart hospital. Everything, and even when you come into A&E, there may even be digital robots there who will assist you in doing certain things.
Could you see it, Bahamians? Could you see it? I can see it,
Yes. And then last, before Mr. Bain come on, I just want to say to the people on the Family Islands, I hear you, I feel you. We are going to help you. No longer are we going to have those people driving to the morgue on the back of a truck. That ain't gonna happen under Veronica McIver's watch.
I have something
Yes.
to ask of you.
Yes.
Could you share about the specialty hospital that they are proposing or they are building now in, I don't know exactly where the specialty hospital is, but could you explain again, because we've been doing it for the Bahamian people, what exactly is this specialty hospital? Could I go if I have a cold or a flu or a respiratory problem, or what is it?
I'm glad that you asked. Some people know and some people don't. I believe that this government, to me, is deceiving the people. When they use words like, we're about to build a hospital, a lot of my friends who are even educated, they thought it was a general hospital.
hospital, yes.
A general hospital is where you can do heart attacks, you can treat cancer, diabetes, you have surgeries. That's a general hospital. That is what we really need.
Yes.
What they're getting ready to do in that area in Fort Charlotte is a specialty hospital where they will be delivering babies. It's women and children health. Imagine when women go in to have their babies, they are smiling, they're healthy, they're excited, and usually when they have their babies, they come out healthy. They are healthy women going in and healthy coming out.
Right.
Very rarely you will have, an emergency. We need to treat the sick people in Nassau and in the Bahamas.
Yes, we do.
Imagine how many people have cancer. They're not getting the best treatment. I already mentioned to you about dialysis. A lot of people are dying in the dialysis unit. As a matter of fact, last year, I got a statistic that there were 7 deaths in 1 month in the hospital, in the dialysis unit. And when you do the statistics with all of the private dialysis unit, you may get 7 for the entire year out of all the other offices.
Yeah.
So my point is, you see what's going on? Something is wrong. So this specialty hospital that they're saying, they may put in a blood bank, they say. They're talking about maybe putting in some x-rays, putting in a morgue, but and they may have like a little emergency room for little minor stuff. But at the end of the day, it will not treat the men of our nation. That is wrong. And it will not treat you if you are ill. Let's say if you got in an accident, you get a broken leg or a broken arm. They will not take
That's
you
not
there.
the hospital for you.
They will take you to the Princess Margaret Hospital,
Wow.
which they propose to renovate. I want to say this to the Bahamian people. Please listen to me. The FNM and the PLB had consultation with a group in Texas. They said that the Princess Margaret Hospital is finished and it has to be demolished. The PLP and the FNM keep kicking the can down the road like they do with everything else. And now we're stuck with that hospital the way it is. It has mold in some areas, the pipes are leaking. Listen, that hospital needs to be demolished. And they're talking about renovating that and building a specialty just for women to have babies. Now, women, don't get me wrong. I'm a woman and I love women, and I believe that our women should have the best.
But you said something. Our women.
Yes.
Because if you notice, a lot of our women are not on the maternity ward. A lot of our Bahamian women are not having babies at this time because the economy is too high. So it's not our women that we are treating in our country.
Hey, I didn't say anything. I let her say it,
I
right?
I did.
You get the wink, wink.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I think it's time that we have a major healthcare reform in this country, honestly.
Yeah. It's one thing I want to ask you about. Another thing, every time I look on Facebook, somebody needs blood. I don't know if anybody else noticed. Like, somebody needs blood. They are appealing to the public to give blood, give blood. What is going on with our women or us in this? What are we not doing that we should be doing, or we're not educated on that we should know? Because is everyone in the Bahamas anemic? What is happening? Where's the blood going?
No, I mean, all hospitals should have a good supply of blood, and all hospitals have to routinely collect blood. Blood cannot sit too long because
Okay.
it can expire. So you have to constantly be having people come in. The problem we're having is we're short-staffed, they're not soliciting blood as they should. I know for me, I will make sure that we have community projects where people are incentivized to give blood. They, traditionally, you're not supposed to pay people. They say it's unethical to pay people for their blood, but there are ways that you can incentivize and motivate
Yeah.
people to give blood. Y'all agree with that?
Yes.
And that's exactly what I will do. We have to keep the cycle going so that we have a full stock of blood supply at all times. No one in our country should die because they didn't have enough blood.
Come on.
That is ridiculous.
Come on.
Mr. Bain, are you
ready,
ready?
sir? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I could tell you.
I
Go
usually, me and him always have a joke. People know myself and Mr. Bain.
Tell me.
Whenever I go anywhere and I give a speech, I usually limit it to 5 or 10 minutes. Everybody, with the sound of my voice, you all know how Mr. Bain is.
No.
Mr. Bain could stand up for
3.
3
Yeah.
3 hours, unscripted.
Yep.
Unscripted, and talk. And let me tell you all something. That is a gift from God.
It is.
That is a gift from God.
It is.
If you only could rub some of that gift off on me, whoo.
No. We like you, the time stickler. We love that. We can't have 2 of Mr. Bain. No.
Yes.
But I'd say this. I was in another country, and unfortunately, my blood count was very low, right? And they were able to see that immediately with just a prick or something like that. And what they did was they didn't have the blood type in the hospital. So what they did was they called the next hospital. They went into its system. And it was so amazing. They just went into the system, called the hospital where they saw that they had the blood. They brought it by helicopter to the hospital I was at. And I had the blood, I had the plasma, and I had the iron because, dealing with low iron, that happens. But I had that in less than an hour.
Wow, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Efficiency, that's what we're
I'm
talking about.
Isn't it? That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, we need it.
Wow, and speaking about that, even you all know that cancer of the breast for women is very prevalent here in the Bahamas.
Yep.
We're probably almost number 1 in the world.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's another investigation we need to do, find out why are women getting so much breast cancer. And last year, I don't know if they have the machine up now, but I sent someone to the hospital to do a mammogram. And they told me that the mammogram machine is down, and they didn't have money to go privately. So that's what I'm saying. And then when I called them back, they said they told them that it was down for 9 months. You know what? I can be honest. That bothered me to know that you don't even have a mammogram, and our number 1 disease here is cancer of the breast. Come on, man. Listen, we need to do better. So COI will get the job done.
We will fix it.
And we will put a woman in charge.
There you go. Mr. Bain, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome to come. You're welcome to come, sir. We invite you to come. You can sit along with the women of the Bahamas. Yes.
You want me to stay here? Or?
Yes, we want you to stay. You're a part of the conversation. We have to fix this country. We have to fix this. Mr. Bain has an encyclopedia. Look at this book. This is an encyclopedia he brought today, so we're in for a treat. We're in for a treat. Mr. Bain, welcome. Thank you for coming. Well, you're always here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You're welcome, sir. So he's going to talk about immigration, another crisis in our country. Health was amazing just now. Could we give a round of applause to our Shadow Minister of Health, because she did an amazing job just breaking it down for us to understand. Bahamian people, we are here for you. We have you, especially women. We are women. We can do it. We can do our big one for the women of the Bahamas. Dr. McIver.
I have a joke. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
I have a joke before you came on. I was teasing the audience and telling them that I usually speak for 5 or 10 minutes. And I make way for you because you usually take 2 to 3 hours.
There you go.
I think we make a good
Listen.
pair.
Yes, I know. Miles Monroe church used to be 6 hours
Yes.
at one point.
Easy.
Fidel Castro would speak for 9 hours.
My goodness.
Wow, wow.
You got one man in the Bible spoke until people said, I'm dropping down dead.
Dropping down. Had to bring him back to life.
So my little 2 hours is nothing.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but healthcare is a serious issue, and there's no reason we should be in the state that we're in. And at some point, we have to stop blaming the government. We have to start blaming ourselves because it's us who's voting for these people, and so you have to blame yourself. If you see it keeps happening, you're going to the hospital, the clinic in the back of trucks. You're going to the hospital. I mean, under the FNM and the PLP, it was horrible. Under the FNM, A&E was in the rain outside on the porch. Do you remember that? With rats running around. They locked up Maria for filming that. So the problem wasn't what you're doing to the people. The problem was exposing it. And so, healthcare is in a serious state. When you get to the point where the hospital is telling people to bring their own blankets and sheet and blanket,
Yeah.
you now have a failed state.
And let me add to that, pillows. One lady
Yeah.
called me and told me she had to go get a pillow. So I said, you mean a special pillow? She said, no, just a regular pillow they didn't have.
Come on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and so once you've reached to that point and no medicine at a hospital, it's a failed state.
Yes.
You should not have humans living in a nation in that situation where they cannot get health care. This is not a political attack. This is the reality of our situation, and our politicians have failed us. And if you vote for that from the FNM or the PLP, you are going to end up in that hospital one day. Your loved one, your mother, your grandmother is going to end up in that hospital one day. And they are going to die.
That's right.
Because you voted for that. You are going to die because you voted for that. So when it happens, don't complain. You just take it because you voted for it. We have a chance to do something different. The reason they're not giving you good health care is because you're voting for them nonetheless. Why should they do something if they know you can vote for them anyway? That's number one. Number two, they are benefiting from it.
Come on.
They are benefiting from you having to get private health care,
What?
private services. They make money from it. And so you will never get a good general hospital with proper services. Please, no one call that a specialty hospital. That is a trick, a play with words to make it sound fancy. It's not a specialty hospital. That is a maternity clinic. They can legally call it a hospital because you can sleep overnight after you have the baby to recover. But that does not technically, although legally it does not technically make that a hospital.
Wow.
We need a real general hospital, and you're going to have a real general hospital. Healthcare in this country has reached a state where people are dying needlessly. I want every Bahamian to understand that one day it's going to be you
Yep.
or your loved one. And you may ignore it now, but one day you're going to be in that bed. My father was in that bed because there was no beds. He was on a gurney in A&E for a whole weekend because there was no beds on the wards. Partly because of the failure of this government and partly because of the immigration crisis. My mother was on a gurney in at A&E. Hubert Ingram's mother died waiting for service at A&E with chest pains, had a heart attack. The prime minister, the sitting prime minister's mother, was in PMH A&E and died
Wow.
in A&E, waiting to be served. And he did nothing. And so we got to do something with our country.
Yes.
As you know, as our able deputy said, the last administration, you had a health minister who was a doctor and a prime minister who was a doctor, and we did not move forward at all in terms of healthcare. Disgraceful. We have the plans for healthcare that's going to transform this country, and it's doable, and we know where the money's coming from. So people say, okay, you're always talking about natural resources and that kind of stuff, and some people believe in the natural resources, some don't. Some still believe in what the politicians have been lying to them and telling them all these years. But I will say that we have all kind of programs to assist with this. And one of them I've given recently on TV, and that was that we're going to add a $50 insurance to every tourist who's coming here. You're going to get an insurance. Now, I know that sometimes when you buy your airline ticket, going to the States, sometimes when you rent your car, they add an insurance to it so you're covered while you're in the country.
Yes.
And so, with the airline ticket, there's a one-time fee, but with the car, they charge you every day.
Yep.
You know, they could charge you $30-something a day, $40-something a day for your rental to make sure that you're not just covered for the car, but covered for you. And so this is norm. This is the norm. So if we charge us mere $50, their cruise ship might go from $750 to $800. That's no problem, because now they know that they'll be safe if something happens to them. And they'll almost never need that service. The cruise ships will love that. They will love the security to know that they can be airlifted back to the States to get good health care. Or once our healthcare system is built, they can get free healthcare here covered by their insurance. That would be, and I use the number 10 million, because there's really 12.5 million tourists coming, but let's say it's 10 million, just for easy understanding of numbers. 10 million, $50, that's $500 million. That goes a long way towards financing your hospital.
Yeah, that can go a long way.
All right? And so there you go. All right? The hospital we're planning on building is going to be almost $1 billion. But of course, this is going to be a serious investment. That's going to be a health city that's going to build health tourism, where persons come to us for health care, for proper health care. We almost had that during the lockdowns. A company wanted to bring a health city to Grand Bahama, and our government blocked it. Twin Sands them blocked it because it was going to take money out of their pockets.
That's right.
These are people who won't come back in government, you know. They blocked what could help you because it would hurt their pockets.
Crazy.
But there are people with red shirts on. And so they built it instead, the company built it in the Cayman. Now our politicians and our doctors go in the Cayman for cheap, good, efficient health care. Think about that.
Yes.
That could have been people in Cayman coming to us, Jamaica coming to us, all over the region coming to us for good health care and making money from it. So the facility we built is going to pay for itself because people are going to be encouraged from around the region to come to us for health care. This can be done. It will be done. And we got the right person in place to get it done.
Yes.
I will work along with Charlotte Green. She's in tourism, and that we'll call that medical tourism. And so that's another area we can work on.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, so I want to move on to immigration. So thank you so much. You did a great job. We appreciate you for being here. And so
Thank you.
So we got to have another important topic today, and then we're going to open the phone lines and open it to the studio audience to be able, so y'all can set up their mic, so if anyone wants to come to the mic and say anything, that they can be a part of it. All right? So, well, Aisha, this is your show. I was just making my comments, but we're going to talk about immigration now, and because immigration is in a serious crisis, and this is now becoming an international incident. It's of international importance now.
Yes.
Where we have come. So you can go ahead.
Yeah, immigration we are in a dire state in the country with immigration at the top, healthcare, immigration, education. But when I walk around, Mr. Bain, everyone is talking about the influx of illegals in our country. That is a major issue. Bahamians feel disenfranchised because they're just flooding everywhere. And they're wanting to know who is allowing this to happen. Obviously, we know who is allowing it to happen. How are these people getting passports bank accounts, all of these things. And when Bahamians go, you have to go through the rope. You have to try to find out who was your great, if you go to the passport office, your great, grandmother, and they might want you to bring the body from the graveyard at this point. But when they go, it's just like lollipops. It's for everyone. You can have one. You can have what, Mr. Bain, under the Coalition of Independence Government, are we going to do to make sure that this crisis is no more in our country?
Well, moving forward from birth, for everyone who was born moving forward, once you're born in this country, your records are going to be right there, and they're going to be digitized with the blockchain.
Yes.
So that you don't ever have to have any problems moving forward. We're going to get biometric from you from you're born. We know who you are. And so moving forward, any document you want to get is going to be seamless.
Okay.
We know when you were born. You knew you were born in the hospital. Let me tell you something. When you go to the U.S. to have a baby, you leave with a passport.
You get it in the hospital, like you can get it in the hospital.
Yes.
They come to you with all of these things, birth certificate, all. You don't have to go anywhere.
No.
Wow.
And so they make it easy. We're going to do the same thing, all right? The child, so when you grow up and you need something, renewals, passport renewals, come on, man. That should happen the same day.
Taking
you
weeks.
apply for that, they already have all your information.
That's right.
What are you filling out that form for? All we need to know is that is you, and you're coming to get that, or whoever has come to get it has your permission to get it, and that passport is printed out like that, all right? I've experienced that in other countries with other citizens of other countries where they get their passport just like that, and there's no problem with all the fraud and that kind of stuff. And so that's something that has to be done. We need a real, not only a vision for immigration, which we do have, we need a government in power who's going to enforce it.
Yes.
We have the laws in place, but we don't have a government that's going to enforce our immigration rules because they're making money from it. And I want Bahamians to understand that you are selling your birthright for a bowl of porridge. Your politicians are making big money. Big money while you're suffering, while you're living on the beach. They're making big money from immigration. I'm told that these passports are being sold starting at about $10,000.
$10,000, yes, I heard it as well.
All right? About $10,000, you can buy a Bahamian passport. That's a crying shame.
It's treason.
And so now you have people, they're not just getting passports, they're getting voters cards. See, if you were just getting passports, I could say, okay, you just want to, come into our system and disappear. You're planning a takeover.
Okay.
You are planning a takeover.
Yes, sir.
They are planning to replace us.
Yep.
And that's what I have a problem with. And that's what I call on all Bahamians to stand with us with.
Yes, sir.
Because if you don't, this is the last election that you're going to have the majority. And after this, don't cry.
Nope.
Because you voted for it. You wanted to ride that wave with Haitian Brave. Don't cry. If you want to burn in the fire with Haitian Pintard.
Oh, Lord.
I'm being real. I have no problem with Haitians. I have no problem with Jamaicans, Chinese, Americans. But in the Bahamas, we have to be put first, and we have to secure our sovereignty.
Absolutely, yes.
I want Haitians to be put first in Haiti. I want Jamaicans first in Jamaica.
Yes.
But I want Bahamians first in the Bahamas.
As it should be.
And I don't want anybody, Chinese, Americans, Europeans, anybody taking over our nations to the detriment of our Bahamian people.
Absolutely.
No one is going to take this over on my watch.
And Mr. Bain, what I've noticed is before when they came into the country, you didn't hear them. They were very humble and, it was different. Now, they are very vocal. They talk louder than you and I in our country. They are the word that we use.
They're playing the music in the car.
They're biggity.
Yeah.
As we were walking around one time canvassing, they slowed down on the side of us. Like to put fear in us. And I'm like, but this is the Bahamas. What is happening? And then I notice also a lot of Bahamians now, even those that are going off to school for visas, are being denied. Why? Because of the influx of Haitians, having passports in the Bahamas illegally, Mr. Bain. We have to do something.
Yes, and the biggest problem I want Bahamians to understand, if you let the FNM or PLP get back in, we're going to be in flux with the foreigners.
Jeez.
Fred Smith, controls Michael Pintard.
Wow.
As relates to that. Michael Pintard worked with Fred Smith when they were blocking immigration from doing their job, blocking the Shantytown situation, when they were setting out these false documents, lying on our immigration department. No one in immigration should vote for the FNM. They shouldn't vote for the PLP either. But the FNM literally defamed the integrity of our immigration officers. That is sick and demented what they did with the international community, lying, showing pictures of injured babies and making it seem like our immigration officers did that.
Not our officers.
That is as sick as it can be.
Yeah.
And that's from the politric Michael Pintard and Fred Smith that did that. Bahamas, you all better wake up.
Yeah.
That man wrote a book about destroying you, deceiving you. I wrote a book about empowering people,
Empowering, yes.
helping you to fulfill your purpose, live your purpose. That man wrote a book about deceiving you and lying to you and mistreating you. And people are still putting on red shirts. He wrote the book on that. And he has not come back and say, well, that's when I was young. You know, I have a different view now. I'm going to do better. I apologize to the Bahamian public for this book. He's not apologized
No.
for that wicked, evil book. I mean, the things in there are so demented. And you can see he is doing it in real life. Well, in any event, this is the National Development Plan. Every country needs a National Development Plan. The first thing that blew me away when I went to China was that they had 100-year plans, 50-year plans, et cetera, et cetera. They plan for the future.
Right.
All right? They have real plans, and a lot of countries do. And the reason the IDB forced us to get a National Development Plan is because we keep coming borrowing, and this borrowing thing ain't gonna work. And so you can't keep borrowing and don't have a plan.
Right.
You're borrowing because you don't have a plan. Borrowing for everything is not a plan. That doesn't make sense. So even the IDB that is benefiting from it is saying, listen, y'all ain't making no sense. Y'all need a plan. What's your plan for the future? And so the IDB gave us $500,000 to put together a national development plan over 10 years ago.
Wow.
And we just didn't do it. Because we don't want a plan. They want to do stuff willy-nilly so they could steal from the Treasury.
Right.
And so the reason I'm pointing you to this National Development Plan is because I wanted to see what their plan is for immigration. I bet you didn't think of that. So on page 460, yeah, I got this old book almost memorized.
There you go.
On page 460 of this book,
Evidence.
they talk about immigration and their plans for immigration. Y'all want to hear their plans for immigration?
Absolutely. Please. Please.
And when you hear this, it's going to be much more urgent for you to vote for the COI. Let's go in this book. Those who are online, it's going to be up on the screen for you digitally.
460.
I opened up straight to it.
He surely did. He did.
462, it starts right here. All right, so let's get it up on the screen for those watching online. Let's go here. All right, this is the immigration policy. This is strategy 13.7, the immigration policy. All right, I just want to make sure everyone online can see it as we go. I want you all to see this. So this is, I'll keep going, you can catch up with me. Strategy. It says to introduce development-focused immigration policies that encourage the best global minds to live and work in the Bahamas. To encourage the growth of the Bahamian economy in a manner which promises the prosperity of Bahamians. Decent work and economic growth. They're referencing something. That's the strategy, y'all. Let me say that again. Yeah, you could interrupt.
What page is it?
Go to page 460. Go to page 460.
It says 432 on the screen.
Go to immigration or search immigration. And that's what they're showing? Well, that's the document they sent to me. That means they don't have this organized properly. Do a search, and then search for immigration. Yeah, that's it there. Yeah, 460. Okay, let's pull it up.
You may have to go past 460 on the file itself because it might be counting the headings. So he may have to go to 460.
Okay, let's pull up 460 for those online. There we go. Let's look for immigration. There it is. Okay, so I'll go based on what's behind me. Since we got our digital board, our classrooms are going to have big digital boards that our teachers can write on, touch on, and do everything digital. Chalkboards, that's so 1600s.
Yeah.
How did it change yet from the 1600s?
Antiquated, yes.
And so we got real boards they could come and touch and do whatever. You ever watch CNN? Yeah, that's what our teachers have now. Yeah. All right, so introduce development-focused immigration policies that encourage the best global minds to live and work in the Bahamas to encourage growth of the Bahamian economy in a manner which promotes prosperity of Bahamians. There's nothing in there about immigration enforcement. Development-focused immigration.
Is that it? I mean,
This is why it's important. Well-crafted immigration policies provide opportunity for the country to get the skills needed for fast-tracking growth. In other words, they talking about bringing more people here.
Yep, that's what it is. That's what it's saying.
Ain't nothing in this policy for stopping the illegals from coming here. Risk assessment, the lack of political will and public appetite to reform immigration policy
You read
lead
this.
for a cultural change in behaviors towards migrants.
What?
Y'all saw that with your own eyes, right?
Yeah.
Need for a cultural change in behaviors
behaviors
towards
towards
migrants. Listen to me. Y'all know I normally up 3 o'clock in the morning doing my work and research and stuff. And let me tell you, when I read this, I thought I was sleeping. I said, this guy, I gotta be dreaming. This is like a nightmare. I was waiting for Freddy Krueger to jump out and come for me.
Who's the author of the book?
No, this is the National Development Plan that the
Okay.
government is
Both
coming
governments?
together with a committee
Okay.
that includes other parties. They have asked us to join in with this.
Okay.
To be a part of this. Our Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs is a part of that team.
Okay.
And we have another young man that we brought from our youth team to be a part of that. And so it's a good initiative. So I support having a national development plan. What I have an issue with is the plan. Now, they've asked us, because I think the greatest document to be produced in this nation is Vision 2030 that we produce.
Yes.
It's a real document. As you can see, this again is just a bunch of bullet points.
Yep.
We have a real plan. And they've asked us to use our plan in order to finish this plan, to fill this out.
Oh, come on.
They've asked us
Really?
to use Vision 2030. All right? Now, come up. You want to say something? Come on.
Our Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs,
Grab the mic.
Mr.
Grab the mic when you come in. Grab the mic.
McQueen,
Right here,
Stephen
right here,
McQueen,
grab that and come.
and our ratified candidate for Nassau Village in this lime green suit today, looking very
Turn
sharp
on this mic,
indeed.
please. Come on. I was the sharpest fella in the house till you reach.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not on? Okay, you'll be able to use mine. It's on. I hear it on. Yeah. All right, so you're on this committee, and I know this was before you. They did this years ago and then shelved it because they didn't really want to do a plan. But and they had asked me to participate with this, and And I did start seeing some things that I didn't agree with. This was before I was even interested in politics. And I wasn't interested. Kayla's role was the person coordinating it back then. And it's not things that really is going to promote the Bahamas. Even though they tried to use some slick words to say it, as you saw, there was a slick word in there like for the prosperity of the Bahamas and that kind of. But what you're doing does not promote the Bahamas. What do you come up here to say?
I want to say, firstly, good evening to candidates and audience and everyone watching.
Good evening.
I want you to be aware that what Mr. Bain is displaying is really for public consumption. So I want you to really follow, because this is supposed to be a process in which the entire Bahamas participates.
Right.
So by Mr. Bain displaying this and beginning to talk about this here, he's actually inviting you to participate in this process. And I'm sure more will be coming forth from the committee. But I want you to be mindful of something. Last week I mentioned what the government did with regard to the asylum bill. And I mentioned that the government is trying to play chess while people are still playing chess. In other words, they're thinking steps ahead for what they're trying to do. We have been saying that we are going through a process where the government is trying to replace us, as Mr. Bain said. We mentioned some time back last year that Fred Mitchell mentioned that the only thing keeping our country growing numerically is the immigrant factor. In other words, the importation of immigrants, the allowing of migrants, whether legal or not. We mentioned the asylum bill that the government created, that the FNM and the PLP signed off on, which allows immigrants from all over the world, irrespective of their state, whether they're criminals or not, whether they're tied to criminal organizations or not, to pay to come this way. So they're not persons who are being trafficked, as Mr. Bain pointed out sometime before, if you were paying attention to some other lives. They are paying to come this way. They are therefore illegal migrants. And the bill that they pass, which is tied to a United Nations convention, pretty much says that even though they come here illegally, you cannot prosecute them for breaking your immigration laws. And that convention, if the PLP, if the government makes that law, that actually supersedes our immigration laws.
Wow.
It replaces our immigration law. It becomes the immigration law for our country. And any immigration law that conflicts with that is deemed to be null and void. That takes precedence. And so some of the things that Mr. Bain pointed out and that we were discussing across the airwaves in time passes, we would have to house them, we would have to protect them, we would have to provide them employment, allow them to open businesses, even if those businesses are the same businesses as yours, allow them to compete. We would have to fast track them for citizenship, allowing them every right that a Bahamian has. And what's more, unless they want to, we cannot return them to the country that they're trying to escape from because they claimed asylum. They claim the need for protection in the Bahamas. And that doesn't matter even if they were in another country when they made that claim. They get shipped here. What we saw on the screen, they are in lockstep with what they're trying to do. They are preparing us for more migrants and are demanding and saying that there's a need for our minds to take a different perspective on migrants, whether they're legal or illegal or not. That's a serious thing. Because what they're essentially saying is we need to have open borders, which the Word of God does not support. No country can survive with open borders. Mr. Bain talked about Canada, and I mentioned some other countries that experience the same thing. We're talking about the possibility of macroeconomy collapse. Long story short, a failed state. Hospital services fail, financial services fail. Everything that you need for a functioning country fails because of an almost instant population explosion.
Wow.
And then we, in a supposedly democratic society, 200,000 adults, become the minority because countries around us have millions of people. And no, we're not just talking about Haiti, which has 11.6 million people,
Wow.
Cuba that has 11 million people, Jamaica that I think by now has some 3.5 million thereabout in Jamaica. We're not talking about the rest of people all over the world who can come here in the millions. We haven't even talked about the flights that continue to come in
Yep.
every week from Haiti. This is not about Haitians. We have the problem with Chinese. We have the problems with other countries.
That's right.
But our biggest issue happens to be our next door neighbor, if I can call it that. How long would it take for 200,000 people to be outnumbered by millions of people who gain our citizenship? How will we be able to outvote them and their interests in a democratic society and stop them from becoming the government of the day, changing our language, changing our culture, and the list goes on. We're not trying to make you fearful. We're trying to tell you that we are facing a reality like we have never faced before.
Yes.
We are fighting for our very existence.
Yes.
This is not an immigration plan that prevents that. We need something more.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's well said. Elegant. Give him a round of applause. You know, the international community is reaching out to the COI, I guess, because there's no hope in the PLP and FNM. And he's been there, of course, with us as we've been meeting with powerful countries from around the world. I think even them want a new Bahamas. And so I want to take it back to where we were. This is dangerous. The last thing we read was an actual insult. That is not how this thing works. When you come to a country, you assimilate.
That's right.
The country doesn't assimilate to you. The country doesn't entertain your culture. You become that country's culture. A country is its land and borders, its people and its culture. That is what a country is. And so if other people come into your country and dilute your culture, you are not a country anymore. And so let's go back to that document, please. Class is in session. You see, the COI attracts intellectual people. And I don't mean academics and people with degrees. I mean people who want to see what's in writing. Intelligent people who want to actually learn stuff. And that could be the street sweeper or the mechanic. It could be the maid. It could be someone with a doctorate degree. The other parties tell you, you are just F&M, just vote F&M. You're just PLP, it don't matter what we're doing, just vote PLP. Loyalty. That's a cult. We are the only political organization, major political organization in this country that's not a cult. But what they do is they call us a cult. When we are the ones giving you the facts. We ain't telling you vote for us just because. We telling you vote for change, and we're giving you the reason you should do that. So let's go back to the document, please. 13.7, strategy 13.7, a demonic strategy. I'm going to go back to it in a second. And so, as you can see, this whole thing is just a bunch of bullet points, just like their manifestos, etc. This is not a real plan like you saw the COI putting out. And we're going to put out the final draft of that, and it's going to blow everyone's mind, including short versions of it so you could digest it properly. Okay, so here we go. We're going back here to this demonic document. And I will call this whole document demonic because of that word. A need for cultural change in behaviors towards immigrants. I will burn this whole thing up. I don't care what else is in this. I don't care what else is in this. That makes this document bad for the Bahamas. You see, when you have leaders who do not have an affinity to you, who have an affinity to something else, who have something else mixed up in them. I have a daughter that lives in the U.S., all right? And she got Bahamian flag in her house, and she has an affinity to the Bahamas. So anything she does in the U.S. is going to have the Bahamas in the back of her mind, because that's her affinity.
Yeah.
She might be American or in America, but she has an affinity to the Bahamas,
Yes.
because that mix up in her. When you have Brave Davis standing up in front of illegal immigrants and telling them he's one of them and they him, and he can always look out for them, that's treason. You're right, he's never said that to Bahamian people. When you have Michael Pintard working with Fred Smith, who was born in Haiti, you see why Fred Smith was fighting for them? Yes. He's one of the elitist lawyers.
Wow.
All right? But he took out time from all that money making to fight for his people because he has a affinity to them because he was born in Haiti. That's Fred Smith. And then he came back to the Bahamas. And so that's a part of who he is. So he can fight for them. Michael Pintard worked with him and was glad to work with him. Why? Because his mother is Haitian. Miss Benson adopted him, I am told. That's why I keep telling them, bring your birth certificate. You all see the birth certificate reach yet? Not yet? And his father is of Haitian descent. And so he worked with Fred Smith to fight the Bahamas. To fight our sovereignty in a demonic way. See, if it's one thing to have an opinion, when you put that in a book and spread that book to the international community lying on our nation, that is evil. That is evil. And so, I only have affinity to one thing, the Bahamas.
That's right.
I ain't got no mix up in me. I love this, and I love you. Let's go back to the document, please. Okay, there we go. All right, so number of indicators of success. This is success for their immigration policy. This is the indicators of success. 1, number of high-skilled immigrants. Nothing but protecting our borders.
Wow.
Number of new jobs created by immigrants. So the immigrants come here and they run the business and they provide the jobs for y'all.
That's right.
Look at the streets. Look at what's happening in the streets.
This is the National Development Plan of the Bahamas. We need to burn this. Indicators of success, the number of high-skilled immigrants. That's success for our immigration policy. Number 2, number of new jobs created by immigrants. The hell?
Uh-oh.
You see, they put it in this book because they know Bahamians ain't gonna read
They're
that.
not going to read.
But they can celebrate it like this is a good thing. Everyone can shake hand and say, hey, we got a national development plan. They can shake hand and they can spend money and have food and finger food. And let's keep going. Let's see what else is there. All right. Introduce and actions. This is how they're going to get this done. Introduce an immigration policy review where the first objective is attracting highly skilled entrepreneurial immigrants. Those who can assist building the economy in determined industries such as ICT, financial services, innovative industries, etc. So let's go to the next column right there. Go down so I can see what the topic of the column. No, up. Sorry, go back. Outputs. So this is what they want to do. New clear focused immigration policy with sets targets for number of work permits issued by type, makes provision for the increase in the number of work permits issued for technical and professional institutions. So more work permits. Outlines additional, so we ain't talking about educating Bahamians in those areas, qualifying Bahamians. We can get these professionals from overseas. It is our plan to get these professionals from overseas. All right? Go ahead.
Remember that the government just last year signed a memorandum of understanding with the Philippines for the purpose of bringing in Filipino workers.
Wow.
Philippines of millions of people, 7,000 islands, bringing in more people, issuing more work permits.
Wow.
Their intention then is to ensure that immigrants are employed, are providing jobs, but they're not empowering Bahamians. So their intention is to empower the migrants.
Yeah, that's what this document is doing.
Yep.
Next, outlines additional criteria for permanent residency, incentives associated with family island development. Incentives for them. No incentive for Bahamians. They're going to give incentives for permanent residency, especially associated with family island development. Example, provisions for minimum number of work permits associated with the investment of a specific size or duration in the family islands. All right, so procedure for processing of work permits clarified and mainstreamed, including the time for processing and the areas of focus. So they're going to get them straight fast. Study completed on the opening of the legal profession. All right, go back, open it up so I can see where we are. Let me see the whole thing. All right, that's the outputs. The outcomes. Highly skilled population. Hold on. The outcomes they're going to get from doing this is one, a highly skilled population, but not Bahamians.
Nope.
Do you see what's happening there?
Yeah.
The outcome is a highly skilled population, but that's from bringing in the foreigners to be the high skill, and y'all will continue to make beds and serve drinks.
Wow.
Not on my watch.
Nope.
Not a day like it. Increase knowledge and best practices transferred to Bahamians. Increase economic growth. More higher earnings employees able to support retiring Bahamians. Hold on. Did y'all just see that? No, man, I must be still sleeping. It's got to be 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm trying to do some work. Hold on. More higher earning employees able to support retiring Bahamians. So not y'all making the higher earnings. Y'all could get pushed on the side. So as Bahamians retire, y'all are going to get replaced with foreigners. What's the plan for your children? Anyone wearing a yellow or blue or red t-shirt is committing treason against their own children. Open the back up. That's the bottom. Yeah, go to the next one. The agency, go back to that first page where we just come from. The responsible agency for this is going to be right to the top of this page. The Department of Immigration, the Office of the Prime Minister, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. All right? And so they are going to make sure that this happens. And this is with immediate effect. And this is ST, that they give a timeline for it. Short term. That means quickly. Not medium term, not long term, short term. They are going to replace Bahamians. You got a job to do on that committee, Mr. McGreen.
This will not happen on my watch.
Come on.
No such thing. Bahamians first.
Let's keep going. Keep scrolling. We need to put this out there this week.
Yes, we do.
Screenshot this and let Bahamians know
Yes,
what's
we
going
do.
on. All right. Actions. So they're going to focus on encouraging foreign investment. Hold on, wait. Let's go to the top one, because that continues from the previous, right? Revised immigration work permit policy. Work permits issued for persons characterized as entrepreneurs. So that's what they're doing for the first section to make sure that they fill us with foreigners. Let's keep, now go back to the side. Yeah, right, no, the other side. The other side, yeah. Right there. Encourage foreign investment programs to specific areas or family islands. List of preferred areas, investment, development, et cetera, increase in the skill sets living and working on family islands, percentage increase in investment in areas. So they're saying they want more investment, all right? I could live with that. Review and improve the system for the grant of permanent residency for immigrant investors. A revised fast-track system for permanent residency applications introduced. Clear criteria on process for the granting of permanent residency developed. The need for cabinet approval for all permanent residency applications considered. Policy developed and implemented. Go to the side. Higher FDI investment. I mean, that means foreign direct investment and growth. So that's there, and that's short term. They want to refocus cultural norms towards immigration.
What?
Studying the role of immigrants and their benefits costs to the development of the Bahamas, economic contribution of immigrants conducted. Education campaigns on the roles of immigrants in the development of the Bahamas conducted.
Mr. Bean.
More tolerant society, tapping the potential of all immigrants.
So we must
Short
just
term.
accept
Let me tell you
that.
something. My heart got so heavy reading that
Wow.
just now. My heart got heavy reading that just now. There will be no more Bahamas. I want to read that again because that really, really, my blood is boiling reading this. And you can see that this is what they're putting in place already.
It's already in place.
Take me back to the left. To the left. Let me read this again for you. So we need to screenshot this for our people on social media and share this. Refocus cultural norms toward immigration. So they're gonna refocus, they're gonna brainwash y'all to tell y'all have to accept everybody else.
Yep.
Y'all gotta learn to eat pitlis and griot.
Yep.
Mr. Bean.
Accept their cultural norms. That's what it is. There you go.
There you
Y'all
go.
gotta accept their gods.
Yep.
If they want to dedicate their country to Satan, y'all gotta accept that.
That's right. That's cultural norms.
So what they're saying to us is that they intend to shift the culture of the Bahamas.
Oh my goodness.
By training, by brainwashing, by
Reprogramming.
and the best way to do that is always through the education system.
Through
That's
the
where it's always
children.
come.
Start with
through
the
the
children. Yes.
So you start introducing them to foreign culture and helping them to believe that is the norm and that is their culture. And so the intention, when we said to you
Come on.
last year
Yeah.
that the government is intent on replacing Bahamians,
Gosh.
this was not our opinion. We were not presenting propaganda. You are seeing it in writing. They intend to replace Bahamians. They intend to take this country from us. They intend to make this somebody else's country.
That's why they want to put
Not yours,
Creole in the
not
school.
your children,
Yes.
not your grandchildren. That's why they want our teachers to learn Creole.
There you go.
That's why they want to push on. It's
An
called
agenda, yes. Come
it's,
on.
it's called acculturation. Fancy word that says you're forcing someone else's culture, and in this case, a multiplicity of cultures
My goodness.
onto us, so that we no longer have this identity of what it means to be Bahamian. Your culture identifies you,
Come on.
and they are intent on ensuring that we are eradicated.
Yes.
We are fighting for our existence. This isn't about politics. This is about our existence. We're trying to make
Wow.
sure that we don't go extinct, because they're on a mission to make that happen.
Yes. That's why they can put in Junkanoo Carnival. That's not our culture.
Yeah.
Carnival is not who we are as a people.
The first thing you do to destroy a people is to take away their culture, which could be their language, their practices, their way of doing things. And that's why the first thing you do when you want to be free of an oppressor is you break away from his culture. You stop drinking tea and you drink coffee. You stop driving on the left side, you drive on the right side.
There you go.
You get rid of roundabouts. And that's what America did, because they were standing up and becoming something new and different. They didn't have the colonial buildings. They preferred to go back to Roman-looking buildings. They preferred to speak Latin than to speak English, British English. We have to become a new nation, and we have to defend our sovereignty. I am telling you, Bahamas, if you let the FNM or the PLP get back in, it is the beginning of the end for this nation.
That's right.
It's that serious this time.
It is.
Spread this message. You see that the FNM put forward a Haitian young man to run, J. Philippe. You see that Ingram, and he is funded. They putting money behind him.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
They putting money behind him. And that money behind him already reached out to one of our candidates
Come on.
to ask them to step down. The money behind J. Philippe. See, y'all think that Bahamians playing with y'all. Y'all cannot have our nation.
No.
Y'all cannot give away our nation.
No.
We are not going to be invaded. Bahamians, this is a tough road.
Yeah.
This is a very serious and tough road. There's billions of dollars at stake, trillions to be precise. They will pay anything to stop the rise of the Bahamian people, to stop us from waking up and taking full control of this nation. They will do anything. And so, if coming close to election, you see some candidates say they don't want to run no more, or they sell out, don't let that move you.
Nope.
In every movement, there will be Judases. Don't let that move you. Because they don't offer me millions. They're now contacting our candidates.
One by one, yes.
All right? To see who they could pick off. And it's hard when you're trying to survive. And you got them bills to pay. And someone come to you with that big money or that big opportunity. It's hard. And so when we look for candidates, we look for persons
Integrity, man.
like Randall Fox, who could tell them, tear up that check and eat it. Because that's what I did. I'd rather live on the streets and eat dirt before I let them give our country away. And so you'll see J. Philippe was put in Beantown, and guess what? Ingram came there campaigning with him. You see Ingram campaigning with anybody?
No, sir.
Only the people he's trying, only Dwayne Sands, remember? Now he with J. Philippe. They are pushing an agenda. That's the test run. Now, once one gets in, all gets in.
Yeah, you open the door for the rest. Yep.
See, Ingram's mother is Haitian. He was raised by his grandparents. And now he's pushing for this cultural shock.
Yep.
Remember when they had the earthquake in Haiti? Ingram let all the Haitians out and let them be in this country. None have left. I want you all to wake up, Bahamas.
Yes.
Some people say, why you focus on the Haitians? The Chinese buying up all the properties. Whatever is bought can be bought back. I don't see. Now, I've been to plenty elections. To be honest with you, I ain't saying none was there, but I ain't never seen no Chinese on the line voting. I ain't never seen none. I ain't seen not one voting. Now, I ain't saying it mightn't be one or two, but I ain't never seen none.
No,
And I've been to all the polling stations.
Yeah.
Y'all see any?
No.
I ain't seen none.
No Filipinos. No. Yeah.
How much Filipinos you see on the line trying to vote?
None.
I don't see no Chinese trying to run for our government. I don't see no Filipinos trying to run for our government.
That's right.
You see them? I ain't see them. I don't see no Indians running for government. The real threat is when someone is trying to become you.
Wow.
See, when someone steals from you, you could replace what they stole. But if that person becomes you,
My goodness.
you done.
That's right.
That's how serious this is. And so, Bahamas, we are in a serious critical crisis. All these immigrants got their papers.
That's right.
They got their work permit. You heard Fred Mitchell. When I said to everyone that the government made, we had an immigration town hall right here, brought the media here, and I said that the immigration monies that they made from citizenship and work permits jumped $150 million from thousands of dollars. Everyone is like, man, that number sounds too big, man. You're always exaggerating. That don't sound right. Anything that comes out of this mouth is the truth. And it always turns out to be the truth. I showed it in black and white and people didn't believe it. No, man, you must see miscalculate. That don't even make sense. How could it go to $150 million? And then guess what? Now you hear Fred Mitchell saying it. That's how much money they make from it. Y'all better wake up. This is all we got. Whenever foreigners take over your land and do better than you in your land, that's a curse. Deuteronomy 28. That's a curse. And it's one thing to have a curse put on you because of your behavior. It's the next thing to put that curse on yourself. We are sitting back as a nation and letting ourselves be taken over. And we just feel like, oh, that's just what you could do. They're ready, man. They're ready and take us over. Y'all stop talking that stuff because they ain't going to vote for you. Well, they don't vote for me. Because you're not going to have this country. We can vote now, but if we got to fight later, we can fight later. You can't have our nation. So, Bahamians, I expect you all to stand up.
Yes.
A vote for the PLP or FNM is a vote to lose the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Watch what happened in South Florida. It's very possible to happen here. Because Florida had millions of people already. Now they are outnumbered by millions.
That's right.
And if you don't speak Spanish there, you're in trouble.
That's
Soon, if you don't speak another language here, you could be in trouble. I can't let that happen
No, sir.
for a vote. I cannot pander the people for a vote. I expect all Bahamians to stand up. Stand up. stand with me as we defend our nation. And the first thing we could do when we get in, immediately, on the day that we swear in, that day, we are going to make it so that no one can get naturalization in this country again. If you're not born a Bahamian, you will never be a Bahamian.
Yeah.
So in other words, if you don't have a Bahamian parent, I don't care if it's male or female, if you don't have a Bahamian parent, you can never become a Bahamian. If you have a Bahamian parent, you are Bahamian. But you cannot have two foreign parents who came here illegally and become a citizen of this country. Now, there are persons who have been here, have been in part of our society. The conversation starts at permanent residency. But we can't have people like Luby Georges coming up and saying he won't be prime minister. Rick Fox, who's about to be defeated
Of course. Oh, yes.
by Aisha Clare,
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
he shows you that a foreigner can run. Someone born in another country can run here. J. Philippe shows you that someone with two foreign parents who came here legally, most likely, can run here. Michael Pintard shows you that someone with a foreign mother and father of foreign descent can run in this country. Philip Brave Davis told you that someone with a foreign mother can run for prime minister in this country.
That's right.
Dr. Hubert Minnis showed you that someone with a foreign mother can run for prime minister in this country. Hubert Alexander Ingram showed you that someone with a foreign mother can run for prime minister in this country. Prime Minister Pinlin shows you that someone with a foreign father and a half foreign mother. Pinlin's mother is a bean on one side, Ackland's bean. So, yeah, that's my cousin. Pinlin is my cousin. Y'all like say I look like him. Yeah, we's family for true. On one side, he's a bean, and on the other side, it's Haitian. That's what it's for his mother. His mother is half Bahamian bean and half Haitian. His father is a Jamaican. He was the witch doctor. His father was the witch doctor off East Street. Y'all know that? He used to sell all the little trinkets and that kind of stuff. Y'all didn't know that? Y'all older people know that, man. Where it was? Odell Corner? Boy, they turn their age. I know what the Odell Corner, but yeah, that's where it was. Odell Corner. Yeah, you used to go to him to buy the little trinkets and that kind of stuff. All right? And his father told someone as long as he alive, Pinlin can't get beat. But once he dead, the protection gone. So said, so done. But we need a culture that does not depend on Obeah, voodoo, or anything else. We serve the one true and living God.
Amen.
That's our culture. And for that, I am not ashamed. Don't tell me I'm a politician and don't talk about my love for God. I love the Lord. Who don't like it? Too bad. That's who I believe in.
Amen.
And that's who's kept me alive for 20 years with these people trying to kill me for speaking the truth. Put a $100,000 hit on my head. I am insulted. That's all I worth? I got to be worth more than that. As you can see, bulletproof vest here. I ain't hiding. Come. Come. When you come, don't miss. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to open the phone lines now, and I want to open here for comment. We didn't go further into that.
That was
Listen.
enough. Probably
That's
not.
enough.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that later because we've been going for a while now. But the whole national plan for the Bahamas is to replace Bahamians. The whole national plan. The FNM and the PLP put this plan together. Together? This is the national plan of this country to replace you. Not on my watch. And so let's open up. I know I've taken over your show, but
It's
let's
okay.
we start with MacGyver.
Lincoln, I don't know if you can answer this question, but there was a case recently about a father and a son who potentially have fraudulent passports. The case was put off by the magistrate for May 21st. Now, what came to my mind was this. Should the election be the first week in May, will they, father and son, be eligible to vote? And because they're not charged or guilty as yet in the court
They
of law.
are eligible to vote. We are eligible to challenge their vote.
Okay, so, and I was wondering if they did vote and the vote is closed or whatever, and they go to court May 21st and find out that their passport is fraudulent, how can we go back and undo the election? Is that possible? I mean,
Yes, it is.
these are things that are coming to my mind.
Yes, it is possible.
And did you hear Fred Mitchell or anyone allude to this case? These fraudulent passports, they are not alluding to the officials that are responsible for giving these fraudulent passports.
That's the issue. They are telling you, oh, this person got locked up, that person got locked up, but they have official passport documents, but no officials are getting locked up.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes, one other question on the passport office. You know, with the history in law enforcement.
Yes.
Why is it that, we have law enforcement, I know they were police officers first, now they're RBDF, but are they not observing what's going on, or what role do they play? Are they not looking out for our national interest? Because that's a high, pardon? But I still think this should be brought forward to the attention of whoever is serving in law enforcement. Because if crimes are being committed there, shouldn't they be vigilant? Or they just for show?
The only thing we need to do at this point is remove the PLP and the FNM. They are the cause of every problem in this country, and they are working together to destroy this nation.
Mr.
All right.
Mr.
The mic
Bin-
is there for anyone who wants to come up. And the phone line is open, 803-5995. So someone put that in the text box, or producer put that on the screen, please. 803-5995. That is the numbers if you want to call in. What do you think about what you just read, the National Development Plan put together by the PLP and FNM? No, the COI didn't put that together. They brought us to the event to make it seem like we endorsing that, but I just want to make it clear. We endorse the fact that we should have a national development plan. We do not endorse that garbage. All right. The phone line is open, 803-5995, and the mic is open for anyone who wants to comment on here. All right? While we're doing that, I don't know if she wants to be, but we have Miss India in the house.
Yes.
Miss India, you want to say something?
Yes. Come on
It's up
down.
to you.
Please. Please oblige us. Yes, please.
How
Thank
do
you.
how you refer to you?
Prophetess?
Prophetess.
There you
Amen.
go.
Well, come say that on the mic. Come say that on the mic. And bring your husband can come stand behind you. You could come. Your husband can come stand behind you.
Could the
No, come
camera-
over here. Come. No, man, you
Come to the-
special.
Yes, please.
You want to stand? Okay, put the mic on her then. Yeah,
Can the
go ahead.
camera catch her, please? Thank you.
Can I hold it?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Pleasant good evening. As I'm listening, the Lord is taking me through a drastic educational process with this nation and what I'm hearing. by the Spirit of the Lord is that within every constituency and every region of this nation, the people now, we can no longer merely push our personal constituency agenda as in the people, you know. In other words, we can't merely talk about flowers and roses and beautifying and, you know, things of that nature. We've got to begin to re-educate our people, and it's got to be done daily. In every part of the island, in every part of the nation, that we've got to begin to replicate and duplicate this knowledge, which means that we have to fast track ingestion so that we can begin to revelate. Is that right? We've got to be revelated so that we can comprehend and understand all that's here.
Come over some more.
Sorry.
Come
And then
on.
Your camera is
Step
blocking
in.
us, so
Thank
stand it this way.
You
Yeah,
can-
all right, that's fine, that's fine.
Is
Go
that
ahead,
good?
now talk.
All right. I said that we have to begin to re-educate our people. This means that we can no longer merely focus on an individual priority within each constituency. Can you just stay there, darling? Over there is good. Yes, that we can't just focus on our constituencies as an individuality as in previous presidential runs. In other words, this is not ordinary, but it is extraordinary. That we are not merely battling for a constituency, but as the Spirit of the Lord is speaking, we are battling for a nation, we are battling for a people. And we can no longer focus on our own individual identity or our persona or personality or the place that we're dwelling, but we have to take on one vision, that we must have one mind, that we must all invest in comprehending, digesting, investing to make sure that we have retention of this knowledge, that we can go into every constituency and build whatever makeshift platform and have whatever speakers and microphones so that we can begin to raise up a people that will comprehend and understand without any resistance, so that the Bahamian people can be activated. Are you understanding? That we can stir up the soul and the will to live. That we must survive.
Come on.
That if we do not arise, that we have no chance in overcoming this army that is ascending. For the gates of hell has been opened against this nation, but it shall not prevail. And nothing that they send for us, nothing that they build for us, nothing that's unleashed against us will survive the blow Etamoshaya, of the man that God has built for this nation. And so we must now begin to gather together in corporate prayer and fasting. We must come together consistently in going into every community. If we believe that this nation is worth fighting for, then we must decide that the time is now, and that the hour is now, and that this is the moment, and this is the opportunity that we have to show up and to do all that God has commissioned us to do, because we must survive. We must arise. We must overcome. And to do that, we need every gift. We need every ability. We need your anointing. We need your talent. We need what you know. We need what you comprehend. We need all of your agilities and all of the knowledge that you have acquired. Our nation needs it now. Organic Bahamians. We need the power of your mind. And we need you to come and dedicate your time to the task of raising up a nation of awareness, because this nation has been overthrown since the onset of independence, and we have been undereducated. As I walk these streets, I see that there are children in 6th grade and in 9th grade that cannot read the word so, that cannot tell me what ah and ka sound like, and are looking at me like a deer in the headlights when I ask them to read on a 2nd grade level. This is systematic. This is genocide of a people, and we have been propelled in this for generation after generation, and they have sought to destroy the mind, and they cannot understand the level of comprehension that this man has carried. This is the gift of God. When God gets ready to rescue a nation, he must birth a man. He must bring a man from the corridors of eternity and shoot him into time, that in the fullness of time he would have the gifting. You need people that are gifted, that are called, that separated, cut for this purpose. And if we believe, we must ascend now. This is not a time for in-house competition. This is not a time for personal agendas and identity. This is a time for you to put up or shut up. Get up or sit down.
Before you leave, Miss India, come back. Well, she's on fire. The reason a lot of Bahamians watching this don't know who you are, but you are internationally acclaimed prophet, meaning that you travel all over the world to minister all over the world. And I want to know why the Bahamas. You're Bahamian descent because you're a Poitier, India Poitier.
My God. My
And
God.
you have ended up back in the Bahamas.
Wow.
I want to know how you ended up here because the Bahamian people don't know. People just watching this, they heard a good word just now, but they don't know who you are.
Jesus.
Who are you and how you get here?
Mighty God.
I've been preaching around the world ever since I was 22. The Lord called me. I'm 53 today, praise God. And I've been sent all around the world, kind of like a vagabond, you know, going into all the world after being raped and beaten and battered as a child, after being carried from this nation of my origin, my birthing, glory to God, from my bloodline, carried into the Americas. And from that place, I ran away as a pre-teenager. And then I raised myself running the streets of the entire globe. Then God called me at 22. And then anyways, I was around the world preaching in South Africa and in the Netherlands and the Philippines and all of these different nations around the world. And I was in the Philippines this time in Manila preaching the gospel to the poor, hallelujah, ministering to the afflicted and to the bound, searching for a people. And I kept saying, God, I said, if you would show me a people, I'm looking for my tribe. I said, if I can find my tribe anywhere in the world, I don't care where they at, I don't care what they don't get, I don't care what they look like, what they sound like, if I can find the people that God ordained for me to help, I said I will stay and I would build that people. And God said nothing. He said go, and I kept going. Well, this time a few months ago, I was in the Philippines with my husband here preaching the gospel, and after we got through ministering, I was so weary, and he said, where are we going now? What is the Lord saying? I said I believe it's time to go to India, my namesake. And we had purchased our tickets, him and my son and I, and we were headed to India to preach the gospel, to continue the work of the Lord. And we got to the airport and we were about to pass through. As I was getting ready to go, people were ushering me through. Somehow, because of my mantle, they keep calling me a nun. And so because of the gates that the nun get through, wherever I go, I get through gates. I don't have to ask, I don't fight, I don't battle. They just see and say, come, and I go. And God had there to be a time where I was delayed, and I sat there, and the Spirit of the Lord spoke to me, and he said, arise, my servant, I'm well pleased. He said, I'm sending you to your nation of origin. He said, I'm sending you to your nation of birthing. He said, I'm sending you to your nation of beginning. He said, your blood speaks there. He said, return to that nation now. He said, turn your helm about and go back to your people and go back to the God of your fathers from that nation. And I say, Lord, what nation? Because I only know America from a young person. Whether you're sending me back home? And he said, no. He said, to your bloodlines. And then I saw it. And I said, my God, you're sending me back to the Bahamas. I said, yes, Lord, because I don't question God. I don't ask God. I don't query. If God says it, I do it. I am a slave, a bondwoman of Christ. I simply submit. And I said to my husband, the Spirit of the Lord says, turn your helm about and go back to your nation of origin. He said, your people are now ready. Your people are waiting for you. He said, they can house your gifts. I said, yes, Lord, I will obey. We got on the plane from the Philippines, probably a 16-hour flight for the first flight, and then, several other flights from Dubai, and then the other flight. And as I got on the first flight, I sat in the chair by the window, looking out over the horizon, and he said to me, when you get to your nation, where your people are, he said, tell them you are looking for a man. He said, tell them you must find a Mr. Lincoln Bain. So help me God. I don't know this man of God from a can of paint. As a young man said to me on last night, hallelujah, I know nothing. I'm not a politician. I've never been in politics. All I know is the preaching to the poor. It's the ministering to the sick and the afflicted, to the outreaching to the bound. It's the raising of the dead. It's the laying hands upon the sick. It's the working of, that's all I know. And God said, fine. See him there. My husband is sitting next to me. And I said, the Lord, I began to write, finding Mr. Lincoln Bain. And I got here and they tried to hide him from me. And they said, Prophet, what you mean Lincoln Bain? That's somebody else. We got this blue and white thing over here. We got these people on our corner that help us. He said, I don't know how to find him, but the only Lincoln Bain we know is a politician. I said, that's a marked man. He said, I've got to find him. And they tried to hide him from me. And I waited on the Lord. And one day there was a riot that was happening down in the square where you all, I believe, were petitioning and fighting for the people. And the Lord said, you must find him. They'll try to hide him from you, but you got to find him, because there was blood that speaks in our bloodlines. And there's a level of kindred that links us. He said his mother is a portier. I said, my mother is a portier too. And the Spirit of the Lord said, find him. He said, when you find him, he said, speak to him. He said, tell him you have an errand from the Lord, that you on an errand. Anybody know what an errand is? Anybody understand when God send you on an errand? Y'all ain't right. When God send you on an errand, he gives you a verdict, an edict. He gives you a proclamation, because whenever God gets ready to establish, recalibrate, reanimate, activate, legislate, when he gets ready to start something that has never been, take you to a place that you've never seen, do something that has never been done before, he has to raise up a man. He has to cut somebody from the rock of Gibraltar that will withstand the pressure. Oh, y'all ain't right. He has to search out a man that he has created for such a time as this. Somebody that he has chosen and picked. And he said to me, when you find him, he said, prepare a cruise of oil. He said, for the oil that you fasted over 40 days and 40 nights. He said, the oil that's been consecrated from the Holy Land. He said, the oil that you've been keeping for divine miracles and signs and wonders. He said, prepare the cruise. He said, take the garments. He said, take the salt. I said, why do you want me to take salt? He said, because I want to cut a covenant with him. To Monday. He said, I want to cut a salt covenant. I'm boring some of you. I know I'm boring some of you. I understand the assignment. I said, I'm boring some of you. But I need you to understand, honey, if we're going to win this thing, we're going to need God. And we need somebody that's in the realm that understands the mind of God, that we can begin to understand the ways of God to navigate these wicked waters. Are you here tonight? And God said, take the cruise of oil, take the prayer garment, the shawl, take the the sword, take the horn of oil. He said, and when you find him, go into an inner chamber. He said, don't do it in the open. He said, do it private. He said, and make sure he got time, because I want to pour into him. And as the Spirit of the Lord had me to prophesy over this mighty man of God, this Mr. Lincoln Payne, yes, I said the word of the Lord came, and God said, after he got through declaring that this was the man, and that this was the anointed vessel, that this was the man that he handpicked and that he chosen, and he didn't pick him because he was perfect. He is picked because he's been elected. He's been chosen by God. I don't care what you done did. I don't care who you killed. I don't care what you took or what they said, David. I don't care that Uriah's wife caused you to take a man's life. If God mock you, nobody can change it. The sovereignty of God will deal with the man that he is designed for the hour of power, for the circumstance and the situation. God has marked this man, and can't nothing you do to stop it. You can't block it. And God said, I'm sending help, and I'm going to cause there to be an overthrowing of every diabolical power that sits in the tongue of the sea. Ah! That you kept troubling me, asking me. Deposited into you, and thus saith the Lord, I've sent you in this place, and that's what you must do. And ain't no devil in hell, under hell, sitting in hell's window is going to move this thing out of the way of righteousness, because when the righteous rule, the people shall rejoice. And God is about to trigger. He's about to trigger something. He's about to unleash something over this nation, and he's going to bring down every diabolical power. For one can chase 1,000, but two can put. Though we are mere 200,000 organic Bahamian adults, we are more than enough. We can do all things. We will triumph in the face of every enemy if we unite, if we stand firm, and if we begin to educate. I said we must educate now. We must elevate the thinking, the reasoning. We must appeal to the intellect, to the comprehension. We must teach them. We must, oh, y'all ain't ready. We must train them and equip them day by day. Any night owls in here, night by, oh, y'all ain't ready. I said, well, you got to have an early morning teaching in the park. Somebody coming for the noonday. Somebody coming back at 3. Y'all ain't ready. See, somebody gonna show up at 9. Because if we're going to do this coalition of independence, we're gonna have to do it united. Ain't no sense looking at me funny, honey. I said, this is the time that if we're going to conquer, you're going to need what I carry. You're going to need every every gift in this house. We're going to need to commandeer vehicles, airplane. Oh, y'all ain't right. Everything in your account, everything in your house, everything in your mind, all of your knowledge, we need to acquire it. We've got to bring it to the table. Are you here tonight? No more are we going to wait to be offered something. Shouldn't nobody have to pay you if you believe? If you understand the wiring of this nation now, shouldn't nobody have to pay you to serve water, to sweep floors, to answer phones? Let them give you what they got. But you should require, not to call you, or they're going to stone me now. I said you shouldn't require, because this is an hour of desperation. We are in a desperate hour. And the clock is ticking, and you've got less than 90 days to turn around the intellect of a people that lack comprehension. I'm walking up and down St. Bastian. Is that what we call it? I'm walking up and down. Thank you, woman of God. St. Barnabas. And I'm finding that there are more adults in the community that cannot read, that can't write. Oh, y'all playing? That can't comprehend, that don't understand. I am finding that there are at least 85% of the people that are organic behemoths that don't have birth certificates. I said, don't play with me. I'm another man's servant. They don't have affidavits. So you tell me, hey, Basoya, how are they going to vote? You make me understand. How will they elect? How will they have a voice if they cannot identify themselves as the, oh, y'all ain't right. And if we don't take our shoes off and decide that we're going to start running from tonight, I said we're going to lose the fight. We need people on the ground that are going to hit every house and find out who got what, who understand and who don't. That's why God said make some videos, because most of these people can never read. They can never read this book. If you give them away tonight, they will be on a trash heap tomorrow, because they cannot read at a second grade level. How many adults? I just got here all of 5 minutes, and they can't comprehend anything. How can they vote? How are you going to harness them? How will they vote for you? How can they say yay and amen? How can they mark the X when they don't have identification to stand on the line so that they can have the power to select? And if we don't wake up now and quit playing crazy, God send you help, you better know what to do with it. When God give you a gift, you better know how to harness it. Oh, y'all ain't right. I didn't expect this tonight. Y'all saw it was like pulling teeth. I wanted the ground to open up when he called my name. I heard the Spirit said, I want you to say something. And I said, Lord, maybe another night. And then he said, well, India. So the Spirit of God, when he wants to speak, your gift will and bring you before great men. I salute you. May the Lord bless you.
Thank you so much. That was powerful. You know, someone says you shouldn't mix religion with politics. Let me make something clear to you. I love the Lord, and I'm not ashamed. If our current and former prime ministers can go to the Obeah man, we can go to God. If the prime minister can walk around with Obeah beads on his hand representing his country, and that's what he believes in, we believe in God. Some people say you don't mix politics with religion. That's what y'all been doing all these years. You know the Queen is the head of the Church of England. Do you know the King is the head of the Church of England? So how are you not mixing politics with religion. That's what you've been doing. But I know one thing. They can come with all the voodoo they want. People was telling us, say, Lincoln, don't go in them shanty towns. They can put voodoo on you. I still waiting. They need to do it some more, or they need to blow the thing in my face, or cut off the chicken head. What you do? Listen. I don't care how much altars they have. There will be a new Bahamas. There will be a government in this country that loves the Lord. We will not sell ourselves to Satan. We will have a righteous government. That don't mean everyone can live in our country. Yeah, if that's my personal view, we're not putting my personal views on you. Listen, I don't drink alcohol. That don't mean that you can't drink alcohol. That's your business. I don't have no Island Luck account. I don't gamble. That don't mean you can't gamble. Go love yourself. I ain't going to the casino to gamble, but listen, every Bahamian could be able to go in there and gamble when we get in. And guess what? We could be able to own them too. Because that's the real issue. No, we're going to be a government for everybody. All people in this nation. But our foundation is based on what our Constitution is based on. The Word of God. Let's go to the phone lines quickly. I know we're going long today, but actually, the phone was on Do Not Disturb, so we had about 40-something people calling in. You know, immigration is a hot topic, but we didn't get them. So I humbly apologize for you all who was calling in. We'll give you another probably 10 minutes or so just to get in and say what you have to say quickly. All right? So let me sit down. Come on, Aisha, sit.
I don't know how to
She'll
sit
still go in.
after that.
But yeah, it's hard to sit after that.
I don't know.
Calling you live, go ahead.
What you saying, Lincoln?
I'm alive.
Yeah, man. Nice, a respectable Bahamian. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my father and my mother before me.
Yes.
Now, I have an issue because I questioned a couple of people who came to my door. But let me ask you a question. We have a thing in the Bahamas we call the Constitution, right?
Yes.
And any law that not follow the Constitution should fall away. It doesn't matter what they write in the house, right? I'm asking.
Yes, to the extent in which it conflicts with the Constitution, to
Yeah.
that extent, it's null and void.
That's what I'm saying. So no matter what they put on a piece of paper, silent bill and whatnot, that could be challenged if it's not in line with the Constitution, right?
That has happened on many occasions. Laws have had to been repealed because it didn't line up with the Constitution.
Okay, now I align in something with you. They extend flights from here to Haiti, right?
Yeah.
Let me say something to plenty of people who don't know things, even coming from the United States. Do you know flights from the United States, flights from just about every Caribbean island, they stop taking in Haiti, right? I mean, in Haitian people, right?
Yes.
But we extend our flight to Cape Haitian 3 times a week and whatnot. How come? My question to all of this is, what is the reason for when they come over here that they give customs to say that they come in?
Some of them say vacation. Some of them say they visiting family members. Some of them say they trying to get U.S. visa. They say all manner of things. Most of them coming on visas now.
Yeah.
Because they are being advised not to come. They're paying under the table for visas around $8,000 or so to get visas in Haiti. They come in and then they extend the visa. They pay thousands more to extend it. Then they extend it again. And then they pay again for a work permit. And so that's a lot of money to be made.
Look, I say that to say this. Because when the flag was being raised, if you listen to the leaders who's supposed to be writing bills and protecting your sovereignty, right? You remember if you go back to Fred, even when you go back to Fred Mitchell days when he's talking, he was saying there was no issue with passport, fraudulent passport. Then when you listen to the actual passport officer, he been on that lion show, beyond the headlines.
Yeah, beyond the headlines, yeah.
That's right. You see what the passport officer said, that they could not duplicate the passports, right? But then that's what they doing. And my thing is,
they're not duplicating them. They're getting them from officials.
Right, but here's my thing, Lincoln. This country, we have to, and something seriously need to be done. And I speaking on your behalf when you go up, because plenty things need to blow up. Here's my thing. If somebody in this country get arrested for being a pedophile, we don't show their face. We don't show where they live in. We don't show nothing. We protect wrong in this country.
Criminals.
If somebody break into this country, you don't know who they is. You don't know what they did. The key, I ain't never let Keith Bell get out of this. Keith Bell, who anointed that woman with our blessing, saying she's a citizen, and bless her 2 kids with being eligible based on our constitution. Do we ever know this woman is? Can anybody ever tell me, did they ever see this woman and her kids? But here's my thing, and then we promote that. What I mean by that is we promote that, and here's why I say, Brave Davis, people stop telling me that this man is a humble, nice, quiet. There's nothing nice about criminals, boy, because here's my thing. The man move him from there and put him into housing where he's still doing crime. You move somebody with break into your house. Let somebody into your house, right? Move him someplace where now he giving the people what he let into the country. He giving them the homes now. Yeah. So to me, you confuse. Not even saying you confuse them, and then to me, Lincoln, you need to target 2 people in this country. You might touch them here and there, but you need to target them because guess what? I also say cut the head off the what? The snake, right? You cannot have Louis George, who was not born. He came here over on a boat, and guess what? Our constitution say they must renounce. Their constitution say they can't renounce. Why can't we just say plain and simple, Haitians cannot become a human? Why can't we just say that out plainly and go after the head of the snake? You cannot have Louis Georges being in a place of power, sitting down talking to the people who in power, and then you turn around and tell behemoths what we could and we can't do. And Frankie, that I don't know where he is in Abaco or whatnot, because Ingram, I ain't never been Abaco, but whatever happened in Abaco, Ingram is a part of it. And every time you see him, he waving to somebody like he's some celebrity. Yeah. This nigga, no matter where he go, he's smiling and waving like he got this big fan base behind him. When they destroy this country for me and my, you understand?
Yeah, we gotta run. We gotta take some other calls. But Luby is watching. So what you have to say to Luby?
I have to say to Louis, me and him get back one day. See, I'm from Freeport. Me and him get back, and I telling him this over there. Me and this man get back because guess what? I starting up something online. And I want him to hear me this. I starting a protest online, and when I get enough numbers, he can't be here because either way, I have no Haitian. Y'all might can't say he's a Haitian. I don't care what he tell me. This man is a Haitian. I stand by. I say, me and this man get back. This ain't no threat. This is a warning. Me and this man get back. Guess what? Ain't no Haitian to come to me that tell me that, you ain't supposed to do this. We have to have love. I don't have to have love for no devil worshiper. My God, hey, they God. And I go on that. My God, hey, they God.
All right. That's right. Amen. All right. The phone was ringing off the hook while we saw that call, so you can call back now. We only got a couple more minutes. We've been going for a long time. So you can call back now. I know it's a delay in you hearing us. But this is your chance to call in, 803-5995, 803-5995. Our country is in a major crisis.
Put your mic down.
Our country is in a major crisis. For those who've been trying to call in, a bunch of you, while we're on that call, you can call in now, 803-5995, 803-5995. We can only take one call at a time. Sorry about that. 803-5995. I know there's a delay, but this is your last chance. Okay, here we go. One got in. Good afternoon, caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Yeah, just as real quick, I was scrolling on Facebook yesterday and came across a live that Louis George was doing. And what I did is I screenshot some of the information that they had. It was in Creole, but when you touch it, it showed you the English version of what the English translation. And so I put it in the COI Evolution page, and I think you should investigate it, because the guy said in there that anyone who needs help with passports, call him. And his phone, and he put his phone number in there as well. So I think you should investigate that.
That's what Louis George said?
No. There's someone in the chat.
Okay.
That he was doing. So
Okay.
I screenshot his
All right,
his
send it to
message,
me.
his phone
Send it to
number.
me on this number. Thank you for your call, man.
Okay, will do.
All right.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Call you live. Go ahead.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Bain. How you doing this evening?
Awesome, man.
That's good. I like the awesome. Mr. Bain, what I wanted to bring forth was, we have so much resources here in the Bahamas. Would you, when you become the Prime Minister, focus on getting the agricultural and fisheries up and running? Because this is one resource that has been neglected over the years. I'd like to see something happen in our country that we could be more resourceful and have more independent when it comes around to our agricultural and fisheries. I remember I grew up in Eleuthera, and I remember Atcha Bay Plantation. I remember the pineapple plantation that they were shipping, exporting pineapples when I was a kid. I like to see some more of that we can supply our own market, and I like to see Morton Salt have some competition in the Bahamas with Bahamian salt company and doing our own refining in the Bahamas. We have resources. We don't have to depend totally on tourism. I have nothing against tourism, but we are capable of doing more than that.
Exactly.
And I'd
All
like
right.
to see that happen.
All right, you can hang up and listen to the answer. All
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
He asked if we're going to be focusing on agriculture and fisheries.
Mike.
Thank you. He asked if we're going to be focusing on agriculture and fisheries. The answer is absolutely yes. That's a no-brainer. I don't understand why we're not already doing that. Although I do know why they're doing that, and that's because the oligarchs make money from importing food. They're not going to let you make food here. And it's simple as that.
Yeah.
They import over $1 billion in food
Yeah.
every year, so they're not going to let you cut into that at all. And the government depends on customs income from that food that they import also, so they let it happen. And so they destroyed the agricultural industry in this country. And we are definitely going to fix that. That is a guarantee.
Absolutely.
It can be done, and it can be done easily. All right? And so you don't have to worry about that. All you got to do is vote for it. Don't worry about it. Vote for it.
That's right.
All right? Don't worry about it. Vote for it. And as simple as that. All right? So I think that's it for now. I see some other people were trying to call and they didn't get it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you see how much calls that is? Yeah. So people are trying to get in. So sorry about that. But ladies and gentlemen, we are at a serious crossroad. And we got to fight for this. It's a serious fight. So we're looking for all your blood, sweat, and tears. Give me 60 days. Election is right there. What we need you to do is call your friends and family. Wherever you are, if you're watching this from all over the world, you're watching this in the United States and in the Middle East, wherever you are, you're watching this. Call your friends and family back home. Talk to them. Evangelize. Evangelize means to move the message. That's what it means. All right? Eve is like evacuate. Angel is like the messenger. Evangelize, message, move it. Talk to your friends and family and tell them the urgency of what needs to happen. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
tell them how serious it is. Tell them that there's not going to be a country if the COI doesn't win this one. It is that serious. That's not gaslighting. That's the reality. You're seeing it happen right before you. You cannot ignore it. You cannot. Before we go, we have some candidates in the house. If any one of them wants to say something, 30 seconds, you're free to do so. I mean, I haven't finished saying that yet. Charmaine, and get up.
Up and away. Golden Gates.
Come
Good
in the
evening.
middle.
Good evening, everyone. What a night. Look here. I'm Charmaine Adley, candidate for the great Golden Gates constituency. Right now, the gates look a little rusted because the people are a little poor, hurting, and broken. But we can turn them gates back and make them golden. All right? Woman of God, I so appreciate coming out tonight. Link, I was right there. I was so tired. I ain't lie. I was like, I can't make it out. But I said, you know what? Let me go. And when you push, you roll up on something. When God blessed the whole, he just turned this thing over. And so I believe heaven will be sending reinforcements to bring this battle to bear. I said, God, this is going to be one of epic proportion. So I want to encourage the Bahamas. I want to encourage the Bahamian people to know that our God has not abandoned us. They are calculating the wrong way. They don't understand this Bahamas has a God. They want to bring theirs, but you don't know. You coming against the wrong one. Change ain't coming. Change is here.
Good night, good night, good night. This
Good night.
is Kirk Farrington, candidate for Southern Shores. Candidate for Southern Shores. And I have one question. One question I have. The Constitution of the Bahamas says that we cannot discriminate against religion, right? But my thing is, I believe that there ought to be a way that some changes could be made, because we have an influx of altars and stuff that is coming into this country, and this country belongs to Yahweh. And I stand on that. And so I am believing and trusting that there is some way that changes could be made to our Constitution to allow us to close the doors as it is to these foreign deities that are coming into this country. And I stand for that 100%. I've heard persons talk about, oh, pastors shouldn't be involved in politics and what's not. But the fact of the matter is, I don't mind how you look at it. The Bible says that the government will be upon Yeshua's shoulders. And that means that those of us that are in his kingdom has an integral part to play in the government of the nation. And if we remain silent, then we give over the governance to them. But we need to make sure that governance, righteous governance, come back to this nation. If this nation is going to stand, righteous government got to come. And I believe that we are on the verge of that. And so things got to be put in place for the incoming of righteousness.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much. There's a couple of announcements. Next week, we will not be here in studio. We're going to be in location in Pinewood. All right? So we're going to be in Pinewood, so you're welcome to come out and join us there. We'll put the details in our groups and on our social media. But we're going to be on location. And so join us there on location. We got one little grill out, man. Let's go eat some grill on the road. We could be in the back of Pinewood. All right? Yeah, man. In the back of Pinewood. Yeah. So let's do that next week. We'll update you on the details. And also on the 19th, we're going to be in Grand Bahama.
Okay.
Life Church is having an event. They have a question and answer where they are calling on the leaders of each of the parties to come out and answer questions from the people. Okay. I think it's a good initiative. And so I'm going to jump on the plane and go over there to be with them. I don't, let me see if I have the details. I don't have the details, but I think it's called Life Church. And so Michael Pintard went last week. I saw him try to regurgitate some things he heard us say, but it was very uneventful. It was disappointing. He ran from the questions. It was simple questions, man. What are you going to do to get rid of the D average and education? He literally repeated what he heard me say. Literally. Wow. You know what he said? He said, people learn differently. Literally, he just regurgitated what he always heard me say. And then said that they got more, Little Lincoln. That's Little Lincoln. And then he went on to say we got more vocational stuff for students. I listen.
Could I say something?
Yeah, go ahead while I'm looking for this.
Listen, I know you've heard the fire from Prophetess India Poitier, how we say it in the Bahamas. But I want you to know today that this is altar against altar. And listen, God will arise and his enemies will be scattered. I want you to know that this is not fighting against flesh and blood here. We're fighting against principalities and powers and rulers of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. But I want you to know that altar is going to fight against altar, and God shall arise and his enemies shall be scattered. The enemy that you see today, you will see no more forever. So even as you go forth and possess the land in every constituency and in every polling division, know that as you walk and where your feet trod, you shall possess the land. We are possessing the Bahamas for the name of Jesus Christ and his name alone. Let God arise and his enemies be scattered. Amen.
Yeah. All right. So I don't have the details on the event, but I'm going to be there on, I think that's Life Church on the 19th, and so I'm going to be there. I'll put the details on my Facebook page so you can know exactly what the details are. So if you're in Grand Bahama, join us on the 19th. I think that's the evening of the 19th at I think it's Life Church. Join us. I will be there to answer all of your questions that you have, and we can see who do you think has a vision for this Bahamas. As simple as that. And that's it and that's all. We'll see if Brave shows up. But what we really need to have is a debate between the leaders of the parties that are represented in the House of Assembly.
Come on.
And so just come and answer to the people. Why is it so hard in the Bahamas? It's because they, of course they're scared, but they really don't have a vision. And that's where the problem is. So I'm going to turn it over to Aisha to close this out. But on the 19th, I'm going to be there. And so make sure you're a part of it. Don't miss it. It's going to be good. So everyone in Grand Bahama, I'm coming. And so make sure you be there at that church on that night.
What a night. What an evening. What a night. Thank you, Mr. Lincoln Bain, for always your insight and education. Thank you, Prophetess India Poitier, for, I don't even know what to call that. I don't know what to call that, but I believe that we have gotten our orders and we know what it is that we need to do. We know what it is that we need to do for country, for God and for country. This one is for God and country to save our Bahamas. Again, thank you for rocking with us. My name is S. Aisha Claire, the candidate for Garden Hills, the great Garden Hills. We're rising up in this country, in this community. We're taking every polling division one at a time, every constituency one at a time. Again, this is the COI's broadcast. See you next time. Change is here.